So this is set up for what should be a real cracker this afternoon.
And Tim, it's a glorious afternoon. The pitch looking in really good condition. Both these sides like to play passing and entertaining football, and we're hoping for a lot of entertainment in front of this pretty decent St James Park crowd this afternoon.
Well, I think it's right that you mentioned the weather. It's an absolutely stunning afternoon here in South Northamptonshire. It's still, it's dry, and not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful blue sky. The low sun will be a problem for the goalkeeper at one end, but not to complain about that. It's perfect conditions for National League North football here.
We'll just quickly go through the two sides for you as the two teams emerge from the tunnel. Brackley Town, well, they're unchanged from the side that beat Spennymoor 1-0 last week thanks to a Morgan Roberts goal. So that's Danny Lewis in goal, Ricardo Calder, Shetmore and Bezzi, the captain Gaz Dean, Alex Goodger, Tyler Little, Tommy O'Sullivan, Connor Hall, whose last appearance here, of course, was his debut in a hat-trick, so I'm sure he'll be looking for the same again. Morgan Roberts, Cosmos Matwassa and Danny Newton. The substitutes, Jimmy Armson, Alfie Bates, Zach Lilly returning from concussion outage, George Carline and Dan Turner. For Scunthorpe, one notable absentee for them, and that's Jacob Butterfield, their midfield playmaker. He's ruled out with concussion, but they line up with Rots Fitzsimmons in goal, Reagan Ogle, Will Evans, Andrew Boyce, Michael Clunan, the captain, Alfie Beeston, Danny Elliott, Callan Roberts, Cian Scales, Jason Law and Tyler Denton. The substitutes for Scunthorpe this afternoon, Michael Kelly, Max Culligan, Cameron Wilson, Finn Shrimpton and Ross Barrows. And Tim, we've said this a number of times, Brackley perennial playoff entrance, if you like, and they're in that sort of position again. The least they want this year is to get into playoffs again, and surely after 3 attempts, a 4th attempt, fingers crossed, we may see Brackley moving into the National League, which is their ambition.
Certainly the ambition. I think that would be a real push for Brackley to get above either Tamworth, who are top, or Scunthorpe, who are second. Those two, of course, play next Saturday in another intriguing encounter. But I think Brackley should be aiming for third place. Third place would guarantee home advantage in those early playoff games, and if Brackley could make their way up to third, that would be a pretty good outcome for the season, and then everything to play for in those crucial playoffs come May. But a long way to go until then. There's plenty of teams who also have similar ambitions, and 3 points this afternoon would be a really big outcome for Brackley. Equally, they would be for Scunthorpe. A really interesting statistic is that any game this season where Scunthorpe have dropped points, they've always come back the next game to win. So that's certainly what they're looking for this afternoon as well.
Well, from a Brackley perspective, let's hope that that changes this afternoon. But Tim, Scunthorpe aside, a team, a club with great history, great traditions. They were in the Championship just a few short seasons ago. They've had a real fall from grace, but they've had a takeover, and things are looking a lot brighter at Glanford Park.
Yeah, they're a really big club. When you go to Glanford Park, you just see they're a proper league team, league outfit. That's what their aim is, to get back to that, and fair play to them. That's their aspiration. Brackley Town, rather more modest aspirations, but nevertheless a big challenge for Gavin Cowan's side to make that up to step 1, National League. But that's what it is, and we're just about to get underway here. Referee Jonathan Maskery. The last time he refereed here was the game late last season against AFC Telford. His first appearance this season here at St James Park, and I think he's ready to get us underway. It'll be Brackley to kick off, kicking from left to right. A little bit of a disadvantage, you might say, in that Brackley keeper Danny Lewis will have the sun very much in his eyes. He's donning a cap, I think very sensibly, and we're underway here. The ball immediately back to Lewis, who makes his 300th appearance for Brackley this afternoon. A little presentation to him before the game, and what a performer he's been for Brackley over 7 seasons now. Ball in midfield with Tommy O'Sullivan. The Brackley lineup that we've been through unchanged for the last couple of games. One real omission is Zach Lilly, and as we mentioned, he's back from concussion but on the bench this afternoon. So Brackley sticking with 4 at the back. Served them very well for the last couple of games. Been playing 3 at the back otherwise throughout the season, as all loose in the Brackley half, but an opportunity perhaps here for Scunthorpe, but that's snuffed out, and Ricardo Calder plays up the line, and it's cut out by Regan Ogle, and then Brackley play it deep into the Scunthorpe half, and they just allow it to run out of play for an early throw-in midway in the Scunthorpe half. Scunthorpe wearing white shirts and black shorts, black socks. It's quite a striking shirt actually, with a gold band around the middle. Throw taken quickly by Scunthorpe, and it's straight out of play, and it'll be a Brackley throw midway inside their half. I can see Gavin Cowan on his feet in front of the Brackley bench.
Tim, a word about Danny Lewis. It's no mean feat in this day and age to make 300 appearances for one club. That's a fantastic achievement, and dare I say, a bit of a club legend then at 300 appearances for Brackley.
I think that over in the Bundesliga, Manny Neuer was his 500th appearance for Bayern Munich yesterday. But Danny Lewis, more than 500 appearances. Of course, he turned out many times for Kidderminster Harriers, but 300 appearances, as you say, is quite something. And what a performer he has been for Brackley over those 7 seasons. As Gazdean just forced to concede a throw-in level with the Brackley penalty area on that right-hand side of the pitch. Our commentary position here at St James Park is just ideally located over the halfway line. Ball crossed in, early feel of the ball for Danny Lewis as that cross came in, but comfortable take for the Brackley keeper. He wastes no time in playing the ball forward. The ball with Kean Scales. He switches it out to the right. Scunthorpe deep in their own half. A little pressure on the ball, plenty of time just to look up. And look at the options, and the ball comes from captain Michael Clunan, key player, particularly in Jake Butterfield's absence this afternoon that we've mentioned. That's a big miss for Scunthorpe, you have to say. He's a very accomplished midfielder. But another big miss for the away side is top scorer Danny Whitehall, who's missing. He was sent off against Farsley Celtic, so he's in the middle of a 3-game ban. 14 goals to his name so far, Whitehall. And he's missing. Danny Elliott's came in up against Boston last Saturday, got the 2 goals in a 2-2 draw for Scunthorpe, and he's leading the line for the visitors this afternoon.
Elsewhere in National League North, Banbury United have taken an early lead at Blythe Spartans, 40 seconds on the clock, and their debutant Ethan Fitzhugh has scored, so making a similar start to perhaps the start that Connor Hall made for Brackley. Sorry to interrupt there, Tim.
So free kick in the Scunthorpe half, and we will perhaps keep abreast of that Banbury United scoreline as we go through the afternoon. Just pleased to get out and play a game, Banbury, I would think, given what has happened to the Puritans' home ground, with that inundated with the flood waters again. Away at Blythe Spartans this afternoon, and overhit pass there by Scunthorpe, way over the head of Jason Law on the left wing for Scunthorpe, concedes a throw in to Brackley. 4 minutes played here at St James Park. Brackley Town 0, Scunthorpe United 0. And just to remind listeners that Carlisle United against Oxford United, live commentary on 95.2 FM, Freeview channel 722, or on DAB digital radio. But here at St James Park, you've tuned in to National League North action. Brackley Town against Scunthorpe United, and just a few seasons ago, who would have imagined that?
Well, you might have imagined it in perhaps the FA Cup or something like that, Tim. And obviously they did play each other in the FA Cup twice this season. But no, I think a couple of years ago, if you'd have told any Brackley supporter that they would be playing as equals in a league game against Scunthorpe United, I think they would have thought you were a little bit crazy. But it just goes to show not only how far Brackley have progressed, but obviously, unfortunately for Scunthorpe, how far they've fallen.
Indeed, but opportunity here for Scunthorpe as they break into the Brackley half on that right-hand side of the pitch. Just decide to just retain possession and ball back on the halfway line with captain Clunan. We'll see him on the ball throughout the game. He's that deep-lying midfielder who'll drop back to pick the ball up in front of the back four in the way that Scunthorpe typically line up. A little bit of progress here for Scunthorpe towards the edge of the Brackley penalty area, looking for an opportunity to cross the ball in. But Shepmore and Bedsy makes the intervening tackle and puts the ball out for a throw-in on that far side from our commentary position. Good crowd in St James Park this afternoon. Around 300 Scunthorpe United supporters have made the trip down from Lincolnshire, and a really good turnout from Brackley supporters as well. Well over 1,000 inside St James Park this afternoon. We'll bring you the official attendance at some point during the second half. Brackley just struggling to clear the ball. It's that man Clunan again. Finds Tyler Denton. Now cross comes out. In space, cross played in. Important work there for Gazdean. The ball not away yet, but the flag goes up for an offside. So the cross came in from Law from the left-hand side, and Gazdean rose, got his head to that. Brackley didn't really make a great job of clearing that, but in the end the flag went up and there was an offside, and any immediate danger averted.
Yeah, the High Line managed to catch Scunthorpe forward front man Callum Roberts just offside there, and you're right talking about Danny Lewis looking into that sun. It's going to be incredibly difficult in this first half. As you rightly say, he's got a baseball cap on, but he's going to struggle sometimes to sort of see the balls coming through over the top, because it really is quite a low, or albeit a glorious day, quite a low setting sun here at St James Park, and I'm guessing that Scunthorpe won the toss and decided that's the way to go.
Yeah, that was a smart decision. 50-50 toss of the coin, but you take advantage of any advantage at this level, as the ball with Callum Connor Hall for Brackley on that far side, and ball run out of play, and we'll restart with a throw into Scunthorpe. So Connor Hall, his third appearance for Brackley, got that hat-trick here on New Year's Day against Banbury United, on loan from Solihull Moors. Performed well away at Spennymoor last Saturday as well, didn't get on the score sheet, but was part of that winning performance. Shepmer and Bedsy for Brackley just puts the ball out of play, unable to link up there with Ricardo Calder, and it'll be another throw-in taken by Ogle in front of the Brackley bench, just inside the Brackley half. And a bright enough start here for the visitors. Certainly had the better of things in these opening 8 minutes. But nothing for either goalkeeper to do of note to this point. Now a chance for Brackley to clear with Cosmas Matwassa.
Good referee in there. He was waiting there to see if there was an advantage from the back. There was Jonathan Maskery, and he clearly saw that the ball was given away, so he's given the free kick for the initial infringement. That's really good to see, actually, early on.
Yeah, Maskery tried to allow play to progress. Matwassa pumped it forward, but it was easily cut out, so he brought it back for free kick that Danny Lewis will take. Just in the middle of the D. Perfect symmetry, middle of the D on the edge of his penalty area. Lewis in all lime green this afternoon and that dark blue cap. Matwassa rises for Brackley, but it's Scunthorpe who come away with it, with Scales, midfield role Scales. Callum Roberts has gone down, but referee says nothing doing there. Ball played into the Brackley box. Gazdean, or rather Alex Goodger, goes down, and the Scunthorpe striker Elliott also feels that perhaps there was an infringement against him, and referee having none of it, and we'll restart with a goal kick.
Yeah, the captain Michael Clunan's just asking the referee there, I think, about the first challenge. I thought that was nothing more than a coming together in the centre of the field, to be honest. The referee was right on top of it and let that go, which I think was correct. And then again, the challenge in the penalty area was again a bit of a coming together, nothing more, and the referee's given a goal kick.
So Lewis with a kick over halfway line up into that gorgeous blue sky we have here. Connor Hall now onto Matwassa. First time Brackley have really had the ball in the Scunthorpe half. Ball with Matwassa on this right wing. And now with O'Sullivan, who lays it back to Dean. Dean's forward pass easily cut out, and that allows Scunthorpe to look to come forward. Goodger alert to that for Brackley at the back. Well, Brackley's centre-back pairing. And he puts the ball out of play, and we'll restart with a throw-in in front of the Scunthorpe bench. And a good start for the away side. They've enjoyed the better of possession. Most of the game is opening almost 11 minutes now spent in the Brackley half. The ball played forward for Tyler Denton. It's up against Dean, and Brackley managed to clear, and I think that will go out of play. Clunan, the captain, allows it to roll out, picks the ball up quickly and plays the ball infield to one of his two centre-backs, Will Evans. Evans and Andrew Boyce, the centre-back pairing for Scunthorpe. Alex Goodger and Gaz Dean, corresponding players for Brackley. Now Elliott comes off the crossbar. He took a snapshot, did Elliott, from all of 30 yards, and it dipped over Danny Lewis and came back off the crossbar. A real let-off there for Brackley, whether the sun or whether it was just an unexpected effort that caught Danny Lewis unawares, but he was nowhere near it, the Brackley keeper. Came back off the crossbar.
I think, Tim, to be honest, he did react late to that. I think he may have been slightly blinded by the sun there, and he was beaten all ends up, but it's come back off the bar.
So a let-off there for Brackley. The ball now on the edge of the penalty area, and that attempted shot from Cian Scales is snuffed out and rolls out of play, and it'll be a goal kick to Brackley. Or in fact, I think it's an off. In fact, the ball didn't go out of play, and Danny Lewis will be able to restart with a kick from his hands. But let off there for Brackley, you have to say, in front of the Scunthorpe supporters. The ball just went smack onto the bar and just came back out, and the Scunthorpe player was unable to latch onto the loose ball from the rebound. First attempt on goal, and it goes to the visitors, and they came very close to taking the lead here. Now Morgan Roberts, almost for the first time, and he breaks into the penalty area, and there's a corner kick conceded by captain Michael Clunan. Good run, driving run by former Banbury, former Swindon man Morgan Roberts. Right hand side of the penalty area, the ball bundled out of play, and it'll be the first corner of the game to Brackley from this right hand side. Just about everybody making their way into the penalty area. Just Ricardo Calder for Brackley back midway inside his half for the breakaway, and now Shepner and Bedsy perhaps providing an option for a short corner, but now even he goes into the penalty area. Corner is taken short, and now pumped in, and Danny Newton came to meet it, but a glancing header is just allowed to roll out of play by defender Boyce, and it'll be a goal kick. It was a well-worked corner by Brackley. In the end, the Morgan Roberts came short. Tommy O'Sullivan played it in short to him. Then the dink cross in from O'Sullivan. Danny Newton came to meet it, but just slightly got under it, and it rolled out for a goal kick, and we're underway again with Boyce at the back for Scunthorpe. As the first half goes on, we'll see that sun dipping lower and the shadows getting longer. I think we'll still have some sunshine come the second half. We're at that point in January. Those days appear to be getting a little bit longer. Floodlights not on here yet, no need for it at all. And now here's Connor Hall looking to play in Morgan Roberts, and Roberts is through, can get a shot away on goal. One-on-one with the keeper. Keeper did well with his legs to save that. Ball still with Roberts now on the left-hand side. Lays it out to Calder, who plays it high into the penalty area. Matt Wasser's under it. Gets his head to it. Almost a touch for... That was Connor Hall. And the ball just rolls out for a goal kick. But great opportunity there for Brackley. Twice, Morgan Roberts through one-on-one with the keeper. Keeper came out, saved well with his legs. And then from the resulting cross from Matt Wasser's header, Connor Hall unable to get the final touch.
Yeah, promising signs though for Brackley after a pretty bright start for the visitors. A couple of really good opportunities there. Morgan Roberts, I have to say, in these opening 15 minutes, those looked really bright, and obviously scored the winning goal last weekend. A very talented young man, and yeah, encouraging signs.
Ball back in the Brackley half with Tommy O'Sullivan. Brackley no doubt buoyed by a couple of good opportunities there. A forward pass looking for Connor Hall. Goalkeeper Ross Fitzsimmons, coming from Chesterfield, of course, at the start of the season. He was alive to that, and he cut it out. The ball at the back now with Will Evans. So there's been a chance at both ends, but we're still goalless. And the ball now played up, but cut out by Dean, the Brackley captain. And then the loose ball picked up by Danny Newton for Brackley. He runs into trouble, battles away as he always does, and wins the ball back and just lays it back to the halfway line of Gudja. And now Murrumbidzi. Not neat play between Murrumbidzi and O'Sullivan in the Brackley midfield. The ball finds its way out to Calder. And Calder looking to go past the full-back, gets a good cross in, but it's cut out, and that won't go out of play. It's kept in play by Calder, looking to cross it again. Plays it back to Murrumbidzi for Brackley. Good little spell of possession this for the home side. Calder crosses it in, takes a deflection, and the referee says that Danny Newton was backing in on the defender, and it's a free kick given on the edge of the 6-yard box for Scunthorpe.
League One still, Carlisle 0, Oxford United 0. If you're looking for that game, that's on 95.2 FM, Freeview channel 722, or on digital radio in Oxfordshire. Still 0-0 there, still 0-0 here at St James Park. Fitzsimmons, 28-year-old keeper, performed very strongly when these two sides played earlier in the season. Had just the one big task so far in this game, and that was to come out and one-on-one make sure that Morgan Roberts didn't get through, and he did his job well. Did the keeper save well with his legs, made himself big. So Tyler Little for Brackley on the halfway line, and now O'Sullivan out to Alex Gudja, and Gudja finds Calder on that left in some space. Calder crosses it in early, and defenders there, and that will roll out of play. Could be a corner, could be a throw-in. It was right on the corner flag. Looks as if it's a corner kick. Yeah, it looks like a corner. I mean, obviously, if George Carline was on the field, it would be like a corner anyway, wouldn't it?
Better than a corner. Yeah. It's on the bench again, George Carline, yet to win his place back in the starting lineup after an injury that he picked up away at Chester some little while ago. But it is indeed a second corner for Brackley, this time from the left-hand side. But it will be that man, Tommy O'Sullivan, to take, right-footed, so it'll be an in-swinger. Gudja's in there for Brackley, and Dean. Defender gets ahead to it first of all, but it's with Murrumbidzi on the edge of the penalty area. Feeds it out to O'Sullivan to cross in again. Two Brackley players really rather get in the way of each other, and the ball's up towards the halfway line, and perhaps a chance here for Scunthorpe to break. An important challenge there by Matt Wasser, who's done well for his side, and a free kick given away right on the edge of the penalty area in a very central position. And this will be a dangerous free kick for Brackley to defend.
Yeah, 19 yards out inside the D on the edge of the penalty area, and this is really going to test Danny Lewis, isn't it? With the sun beaming into his eyes, there'll be a pretty decent sized wall as well, which will also hamper his vision a little bit as well. But this is a really dangerous moment for Brackley, with the Scunthorpe fans away to our left as well. So we'll see how many are going to be in the wall. It's going to be at least 3 or 4, possibly a few more than that. And Danny Lewis just trying to sort his wall out and seeing what sort of vision, if any, he's got. It's going to be a sort of a four-man wall with Calder just peeling off to the left. The referee's just making sure the ball goes back the required distance as well. This is a big moment, because this is a really good opportunity for the visitors. Yeah,
there was the corner for Brackley, and Scunthorpe broke quickly, and it was a dangerous position. A foul was committed and results in this free kick, and it's a tactic we've seen Danny Elliott, the centre forward, standing right in front of the goalkeeper and deliberately doing so, and this is a tactic we've started to see recently.
Well, the referee Jonathan Maskery needs to sort this out pretty quickly, because as if Danny Lewis needs any more issues to block his vision, but at the end of the day, if he's standing there and the free kick comes in my view, he's in an offside position interfering with play, so it's up to him really, but we'll see.
But of course without VAR it's referee's decision, and the referee should perhaps be saying to Elliott, you will be offside if you stay directly in front of the keeper.
Without a doubt, because he's interfering with play, isn't he? He's right in the middle there.
Yeah, well, and Danny Lewis is appealing to the referee saying, look, I can't do this.
Have a quick look at the assistant. He's keeping a bit of an eagle eye here, so we'll see what happens here.
Whether Elliott is still offside, he's advanced to be level with the wall. Here comes the free kick. And the wall's done its job. Ball stuck under the feet of Danny Newton in the wall, and he clears up to the halfway line. Danger cleared for Brackley for just a moment, but here's Denton, crosses it in for Scunthorpe. And the ball hacked away from the edge of the penalty area by Murrumbedzi. And we'll resume ball in the hands of Tyler Denton on this left-hand side, just inside the Brackley half. Goalless here at St James Park, but it's been a lively enough first 21 minutes or so. Ball high up in the air towards the edge of the Brackley penalty area, but Dean underneath it for Brackley. Slight miscontrol there by Hall. Goes sliding in and wins it back to Hall, and he's
done well there.
He's done very well, and he's fouled and wins a free kick for his side. But we've got 22 minutes on the clock here. It's Brackley Town 0, Scunthorpe United 0, and this will be a good moment, I think, for Kieran Bushnell to take over on the microphone.
Yeah, Connor Hall using all his experience there to win a free kick, really. He wasn't awarded it, he won that one without a doubt, and it's a free kick to Brackley Town. And just inside the Scunthorpe half of the field, Tommy O'Sullivan over this free kick, just shielding his eyes himself. He punts it right-footed up towards Gaz Dean on the edge of the penalty area. Danny Newton picks up the loose ball, hooked clear by Scunthorpe, and it's going to be picked up inside the Brackley half, and again hooked over his shoulder by the Brackley man, and a little bit of head tennis there. Tyler Little heading it into positive territory from a Brackley perspective, but the visitors back in possession themselves now with Law on this left touchline. Little neat interchange of passes to Denton. Denton plays it infield to the captain Michael Clunan, who in turn rolls it across to Andrew Boyce on the right side of the defensive centre half duo, and he pumps it forward, and then Alex Goodger just makes no mistake, just heads it out of play to allow Brackley just to get their numbers back to defend this throw in midway inside the Brackley half of the field, on the opposite side to our commentary position, and Scunthorpe looking to attack into the penalty area with Alfie Beeston, and that's going to be decent defending, I think. In fact, it's really good defending from Ricardo Calder, because he shepherded that out for a goal kick under pressure, and Danny Lewis will pick the ball up gratefully and just take his time a little bit. The sun is slowly setting. We can see half the penalty area now is in shade, so Danny Lewis decides he's going to kick from that side in the shaded area. In the middle of summer, of course, you'd be looking for the shade for other reasons, but yeah, it's been a really lively game so far. Chances at both of us, and two really good sides going toe-to-toe here. Lewis with the goal kick clears it up towards the halfway line. Ty Little's clambered all over the back of by Law, and that's going to be a free kick right on the halfway line, and that's another good decision from the referee Jonathan Maskery. You don't very often see those decisions given, to be honest. You see quite a lot of climbing on top, and one of my little pet hates, Tim, I always used to penalise that more than perhaps other referees did, because it annoys the hell out of me when a player's clambering over the back of somebody with no real intent to play the ball.
Yeah, and just another example of pretty good refereeing that we've seen so far from Maskery. Good performance to this point from the man in all black.
Absolutely. O'Sullivan tries to curl the ball into the penalty area, but it's going to be cleared upfield towards the right midfielder Callum Roberts, but it's going to go back to the goalkeeper from Ricardo Calder, and Danny Lewis clears it first time. A big punt forward looking for Danny Newton, but again cleared away. Michael Clunan back to Reagan Ogle on that right side of the defence, and again picked up though by Brackley, and they're coming forward on the attack through Morgan Roberts. Roberts gets a cross in, deflected, and it's gone out for another Brackley corner. I think that's their third or fourth corner of this first half, so Brackley just getting a little bit of a foothold in this game. You're listening to BBC Radio Oxford Sport on BBC Sounds. Brackley Town 0, Scunthorpe United 0, Carlisle 0, Oxford United 0. Still a latest score from Brunton Park. That's on 95.2 FM, Freeview channel 722, and on digital in Oxfordshire. And it's going to be another corner from O'Sullivan. He's raised both hands in the air now, so I will ask Tim whether he knows what that signifies, but I'm sure he doesn't. Both hands in the air. It's going to be an in-swinger of some description, and it's in towards Goodger, but so it's not a great corner in fairness, and it's cleared quite comfortably, and it's all the way back with Ricardo Calder, and Calder decides the safest option is to go back to his goalkeeper Danny Lewis, and Lewis pumps the ball forward looking for Newton, headed away though, and Scunthorpe back in the ascendancy here with Law, and Law first time touch was a little bit heavy there actually, and it's allowed Gazdeen to win the ball off of Scales and a throw in. He's asking the referee for a foul against Scales there, but I think that was probably 50-50 there in all honesty, and it's a throw into Brackley Town just in front of our commentary position on this near side. Tyler Little with the ball. Little throws the ball up the line, head nodded on by Newton, and then Matt Wasser and does really well, and another corner for Brackley Town. Matt Wasser winning the ball there, and Connor Hall making a bit of a nuisance of himself, has won the corner.
Super little move that by Brackley, little exchange, little 1-2, got Hall to the byline, and his cross was just cut out for the fifth corner of the game already for Brackley. But the last corner was so disappointing, such a poor delivery. Let's see if O'Sullivan can make more of it on this occasion.
It's on the other side this time, the corner, so it's going to be potentially an outswinger this time, left arm in the air, and it's on this near side, on the commentary position side, then right arm in the air, so it will be an outswing, a better corner that, and it's still in the penalty area, and that's a real opportunity there, clear. I don't think the Scunthorpe defender knew much about it, but then Morgan Roberts gets the ball in there, headed towards goal again, and blocked by Reagan Ogle, and it's going to go out of play for a throw in on the far side, but a really good outswinging corner that time from O'Sullivan, and caused all sorts of havoc in the Scunthorpe penalty area, and they scrambled it clear, and there's just little signs here that you can get Scunthorpe rattled if you can get the good deliveries there, and it's a throw in now to Brackley on the opposite side. Connor Hall I think is going to have this one, and in fact Connor Hall's in the middle, so it's going to be a long throw, not George Carline-esque, but into the penalty area it goes, flicked on by Gazdeen, and it's going to be out for yet another Brackley Town corner. So they are in the ascendancy at the moment.
Yes, there's not a huge amount of height in this Scunthorpe side. They're pretty skillful footballing side. You've got the two big centre backs, but apart from that there's not a huge amount of height, so there could be some joy from these set pieces for Brackley.
O'Sullivan again, the set piece specialist, both arms in the air this time. It's going to be another in-swinger. Gazdeen's up there, as is Connor Hall and Newton, and flicked on by Goodger, but it's going to be out to the edge of the penalty area. Cosmos Matt Wasser does battle with Law, with Elliott rather, and Law now puts the ball forward. Denton wins the ball well, but now Morgan Roberts, nice little reverse pass to Connor Hall out on this right side. Hall, can he get the ball into the penalty area? He's going to cross it in towards Morgan Roberts, and it's going to go out of play for this time a goal kick. Morgan Roberts can't believe it, hands on head, but the referee right on the edge of the penalty area gave that one as a goal kick.
But again, you mentioned Brackley ascendancy. These last 5 minutes or so has been all the home side, and that was another lovely move up the right, and Hall just waited his moment, crossed it in to that near post, and Roberts was tearing in, and he thought the defender got the last touch, but referee thought otherwise, and we're underway again here at the back with Scunthorpe.
Still 0-0, but chances at either end, probably the best of which came to Scunthorpe, that rattled the bar when Danny Elliott had a speculative strike from 30 yards, which I think left Danny Lewis unsighted. Lewis shielding his eyes from this very low setting sun. Most of the penalty area now is actually, or at least half the penalty area is now in shade, but despite that Lewis needs to just shield his eyes, and that's going to be able to play for a Scunthorpe United throw midway inside the Brackley half of the field. Law looking for options, but he hasn't got any, so he's going to leave it to his teammate Denton to take this throw in towards the centre to Scales over to the right side of the centre half duo, Andrew Boyce, and Boyce has got a bit of space and time just to look up for an option, and he decides the only option really is to go back to his goalkeeper at this point, back to Fitzsimons, and Fitzsimons again will look to clear this upfield right-footed, and he's looking for Danny Elliott, the man that went so close to opening the scoring for Scunthorpe, but it's still goalless. Ricardo Calder does well there and wins the ball, and Danny Newton tries to get it forward, but it's returned back into the Brackley half, but Murrumbedzi does really well, and now Brackley have a chance to attack again with Cosmos Mtwasa down this right side. Got little on the overlap, but he goes in field, and good bit of work there from Elliott, but I think he's picked up a bit of a knock there. Sorry, Kean Scales, that is. He's gone down, so he put in the challenge there in the middle of the park, a good challenge, but I think what's happened there is the trailing leg of the Brackley man has just caught him, and Scales is down on the floor. Morgan Roberts just checking he's okay, and Michael Clunan, the captain, too. He's now sitting up, so hopefully it's nothing too serious. Nothing in that at all, Tim. It was just a bit of a coming together after the challenge, and I think it was probably shin on shin, and at the moment, unfortunately, Kean Scales has come off a little bit worse.
Yeah, certainly a painful one, but as you say, I don't think that was a foul, and he's up already, and it's one of those knocks that he will no doubt run off. Just giving us a pause in play here. It's been an excellent game, you have to say. Two well-matched teams, no doubt about the quality in the Scunthorpe United team and indeed their squad. Got a couple of important players missing, but they're able to bring in players of quality. But Brackley, I would say, have more than matched them to this point, and on chances, Brackley well ahead. Just that one real chance for Scunthorpe when they could have gone ahead on just 12 minutes when Elliott's shot came back off the crossbar, but since then it's been very much Brackley in the ascendancy, created a number of chances. Fitzsimons called into action on a number of occasions, and well, we're still goalless, but been plenty of goalmouth action to this point.
We're back underway. Drop ball was how the game was restarted, because it was the referee that stopped play to allow Scales to have that little bit of treatment, and then Boyce is going to try and bring the ball over the halfway line, but instead he goes right to Reagan Ogle, back to his goalkeeper Fitzsimons, and Fitzsimons, under no pressure whatsoever, has just shanked that completely wrong off his right shin almost, and it's flown out of play for a throw into Brackley Town. He had no pressure there, but just completely miskicked it really, and it's flown over the away dugout, and it's a throw in to Brackley Town with Ricardo Calder on the ball. He throws the ball forward towards Newton, headed back towards Goodger. Goodger gets the ball forward, and crucial interception there by Will Evans, because Connor Hall was just shaping to try and get himself in possession there, but good bit of defending. Gazdean heads the ball forward again, and a bit of head tennis between him and Tyler Denton, and then Mtwasa picks up the loose ball back to Tyler Little. Little's going to go back to his goalkeeper, and I think that Danny Lewis will be quite happy that the sun is now not causing so many problems. Most of the penalty area is now in shade, and he won't need to shepherd his or shield his eyes quite so much now, Tim. The sun's setting quite quickly.
Yeah, that's situation is easing a little bit for Danny Lewis. Free kick for Scunthorpe to get the game underway again, and what, about 10-11 minutes away from half time, but it's been an excellent half of football to this point. Just needs the goal.
Yep, it really has. It's been a game that befits a second versus sixth encounter, or sixth versus second, should I say. Scunthorpe United coming into this game 5 points off top spot with a game in hand on Tamworth, and I think you alluded to this, they play each other next week, which is going to be a humdinger of a game, that one, Tamworth Scunthorpe. But Reagan Ogle and Scunthorpe looking to try and get themselves in front here. On the left side of the penalty area with Jason Law. Law plays the ball in, but it's cleared away by O'Sullivan, and Clunan and Evans play a little bit of a 1-2 in the middle of the park. Evans takes a touch and then drives it forward, but almost drove it a little bit too hard there into the feet of Tyler Denton, and as a result, he miscontrolled it, and that allowed O'Sullivan to close him down really quickly, and did really well to play the ball off Denton. And it's going to be a throw-in to the home side right in front of us here, right on the halfway line. Tyler Little with the ball in hand. Just looking to my right, he's got Cosmos McWasser and Connor Hall and Morgan Roberts to aim for. He's going to try and get it flicked on, is he, by Hall. Hall has a little shove in the back on Denton, but this time referee says play on. No issues there. And then Ricardo Calder wins a good aerial challenge, but now Scunthorpe coming away with the ball. It's 3-on-3 at the moment on that right hand side. Scunthorpe bursting into the penalty area. Brackley have got numbers back, thankfully for them, and O'Sullivan has cleared it, and then Reagan Ogle just slips on this surface, but he's come away with the ball, and Reagan Ogle receives the ball back. Michael Clune in the centre of the park, back out to the right hand side to Ogle again. Little 1-2 between him and his captain Clunan, and then Brackley just forcing Scunthorpe back, and it's with Will Evans, the centre back, just outside the centre circle. He drives the ball forward looking for Danny Elliott. Elliott has got Goodger for company. Goodger stands his ground well there, but Elliott comes away with the ball. Ricardo Calder now snapping at the heels of Elliott, so Elliott is forced back again. Good defending that from Calder and from Goodger. It's forced Brackley back. Sorry, it's forced Scunthorpe back a little bit, but then a free kick's been given against Brackley just outside the centre circle. A bit of a soft one, that. No real complaints, to be honest, from either side, but the referee was right on top of that in his credit, and he's given a free kick outside the centre circle.
Well, perhaps not complaints from the players, certainly complaints from the Brackley manager. Really unhappy with that decision. Brackley would have been away, and it was a soft one, as you said, but it's now a free kick for Scunthorpe, 10 yards or so inside the Brackley half.
Mark Harris has put Oxford United in front at Carlisle. Carlisle 0, Oxford United 1, as the ball comes in to the penalty area. Hook clear by Matt Wasser, played back in towards the edge of the penalty area again by Denton, and in fact Denton's going to be forced all the way back, and now there's going to be another little stoppage because a Scunthorpe player has gone down in the box, Jason Law. So that gives me just a few seconds to remind you, if you are looking for the Carlisle Oxford game, that's on 95.2 Freeview channel 722 and on digital, and it's Carlisle 0, Oxford United 1 in League One, as Des Buckingham's side look to continue their decent league form. In the National League North, Banbury United still leading Blythe Spartans by 1-0. That mammoth trip for Banbury United. They've got to go to Spennymoor next week. They're racking up the miles, Tim. I know that Brackley went there last week. That's a heck of a journey up there, and it's a really good result because Spennymoor at home are a really formidable outfit.
Well, we've mentioned Tamworth against Scunthorpe next Saturday. It's Brackley here against Chorley, who are third. And Brackley were away at Spennymoor last Saturday, who are always in or around the mix in National League North. Spennymoor, it just illustrates there's no easy games in this league. Every game is full on. First goal, you feel, is always so important in these games. Neither side quite able to make that breakthrough yet. Both sides have had chances. Brackley certainly the better of them. But very competitive league, National League North, and some of the journeys for Brackley and Banbury being right on the southern fringe of National League North. It was a 440-mile round trip for Brackley last Saturday, and Blythe Spartans is another whole 45 minutes.
At least that's going to be in the springtime, though, Tim. You can go and stand on the beach or something.
Brackley are at Blythe Spartans' last game of the season. It will be nice to think there wouldn't be too much at stake on that game, and we might not all need to make our way up there. It's more than a whole day out, that's for sure.
Absolutely is, and pleasant place to go, I have to say. A really nice bunch up there. I travelled up there for the first time last year. I was just down the road from you last week, Tim. I was obviously at Hartlepool for the Oxford City game. They lost that game quite comfortably, unfortunately, in the end, and Oxford City really struggling in the National League Premier, second from bottom. No game for them today because it's FA Trophy weekend, and of course they were knocked out of that trophy competition by Chelmsford just before Christmas. So a welcome break, I would say, for Ross Jenkins' men. They really have been through the ringer over the last couple of weeks. Had a really good win against Dorking Wanderers, but then lost to them on New Year's Day, and then obviously lost to Hartlepool. They've got a a massive game themselves coming up next week at Woking, which is, dare I say, almost a must-win game if they want to stay in the National League. Here in National League North, you haven't missed anything because we've had some fairly lengthy treatment to Jason Law, the left winger for Scunthorpe. He's going to have to obviously make way and then no doubt come back on. Another silly rule that I don't always agree with, I must admit, but he's just leaving the field. I think he's going to be okay to resume. He's going to go back to the halfway line and then no doubt the referee's going to immediately say he can come back on.
Yeah, I think it's a facial injury, a blood injury, that they're having trouble staunching the flow, which is fair enough, good enough reason to stop the game and
absolutely
make sure he gets the attention that he needs.
And with the white shirts, of course, it's easy to see, isn't it? So if it's sort of dripping down with Brackley playing all in their red shirts, so you might not necessarily notice, but it's back underway anyway. Ball was dropped at the feet of the Scunthorpe goalkeeper Ross Fitzsimons, and he pumps it forward looking for the head of Danny Elliott, and it's going to be out of play for a Scunthorpe United throw. Denton with this midway inside. Referee's just asking his assistant on that far side, Jack Neal, just to check that Jason Law is okay to continue, and he is. He's back on the field, so the blood flow has been stemmed, and he hasn't had a change of shirt either, so that's good work that they've actually managed to not only stop the flow of blood but stop it getting onto his pristine white shirt. Throw into Scunthorpe United then. 3 minutes to go in this first half. There'll be a bit of stoppage time actually, because we've had a couple of stoppages, so I'd say probably 2 or 3 minutes, and it's still goalless. Hooked towards Connor Hall by Morgan Roberts, but picked up though by Will Evans, and Cosmos McWasser clears up a little bit of a loose ball. He drives the ball up the byline, and Evans is going to have a little bit of trouble with Morgan Roberts closing him down. Gazdeen shielded header really back to Little, and cushioned header I should say, and then back to the goalkeeper from Gazdeen, and then Goodger is going to head this back towards Scunthorpe territory again. Ricardo Calder down that left side. He's got a couple of Scunthorpe players around him. He's done well there, Calder. He's stayed on his feet and he's done really well there, Calder, because he managed to get past two Scunthorpe defenders and then managed to set an attack up, and then a challenge has come in, and it's a free kick to Brackley Town. Really good work there by Calder, because he had two Scunthorpe players snapping at his heels, and he managed to use his strength, get away from both of them, and then drew the foul.
Yeah, I'm not sure he started the season's a natural pick for the first 11, Calder, but he certainly made that left defensive position his own, and that was fantastic play, as you say. He was pinned in on the touchline and he wriggled his way away and then got through a couple of challenges and earned his side a free kick, which O'Sullivan will take. And this is an opportunity for Brackley to load the ball into the box with just a couple of minutes of this first half still to play.
National League North, Blythe Spartans have equalised. It's Blythe 1, Banbury United 1. 2 minutes to go in the first half there. Free kick to Brackley. O'Sullivan curling it into the back post towards Goodger and McWasser. McWasser gets his head to the ball. It hasn't cleared yet. Big appeal for handball. Referee turns his back and says no, and the ball is back with Calder in the centre circle. Huge shout for a handball penalty there in the penalty. I didn't really see it myself, but the referee had nothing to do with that decision whatsoever and just turned his back on it and allowed play to continue, and it's actually now on a play for a goal kick to the visitors.
I think the appeals more came from the crowd than perhaps the players on the pitch. But, another good moment for Brackley.
Good moment, and then Fitzsimons slightly fluffs his line in a clearance, and it allows Brackley to pick up possession again. Cosmos McWasser down this right hand side again. Two Scunthorpe players for company. McWasser does well though, lays the ball back to Little in towards Morgan Roberts. Roberts has got a option left, and he's found O'Sullivan, then O'Sullivan in turn has found Calder. Calder gets the ball into the penalty area, headed clear well there by Will Evans. Really good work again from Brackley. Now there's a chance here for Little perhaps to get the ball in. It's back with Murrumbedzi out to the left hand side again to Calder. Brackley finishing this first half in the ascendancy, still goalless, and in fact a free kick there given against Shetmoor and Bedsy right under the nose of the referee. He's adjudged to have fouled Alfie Beeston, and that just allows Scunthorpe to just take a breath there, because that was a couple of minutes there of pretty breathless Brackley attacking, Tim.
Well, the board for added time has gone up as 1 minute, which is crazy.
It's now 5.
It's now 5, yeah, which is much more realistic, I would say.
I think we had the same issue the other day, didn't we? It looked like it was 2, and then it turned out to be 5. So 5 minutes to add on, which I think is probably about right. Brackley have got some defending to do, though, at the moment. The ball is in their penalty area, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick. Good work by Goodger. And Calder and Callum Roberts just having a little bit of a set to, and referee just says to cut those shenanigans out. So we're about 4 minutes to go in this first half then. We're into the second minute of stoppage time. And I think Brackley can be fairly satisfied with their first half performance against a really good side. They've more than matched Scunthorpe, and although probably the closest opportunity was that Danny Elliott strike from 30 yards, Ross Fitzsimons has been kept busy, as has the whole of the Scunthorpe defence, and it's been a decent first half football.
Certainly, and a referee again just managing that situation well. Quiet word with those two players. A little bit of silliness over there. I think from Brackley's point of view, we'll be pleased with the way that Ricardo Calder conducted himself. Just moved away from it, not wanting to get involved. No yellow cards in this first 45 minutes, which is again always pleased to be able to say that.
We're into the last 3 minutes then of this first half. Still Brackley 0, Scunthorpe United 0, but Brackley looking maybe to mount one last foray into the Scunthorpe half. At this time Ricardo Calder's penalised for a foul on the Scunthorpe man, and a bit of a soft one really, but it's been given and back underway straight away. And it's Brackley 0, Scunthorpe United 0 here at St James Park as we head into the last 2 minutes of this entertaining, pretty pulsating first half. Scunthorpe have a chance here on the edge of the penalty area. Still a chance here, but Alex Goodger there gets another crucial interception in just to deny Elliott a shot at goal. And it's a throw into to Scunthorpe United over on the far side, level with the edge of the Brackley Town penalty area. Brackley have got a little bit of defending to do here. If they can get themselves into the break, level at 0-0. It's been a decent first half of football. Bit of defending to do though in these last moments. Ball in towards Elliott in the middle of the box, and then O'Sullivan's going to hook it clear up towards Connor Hall on the halfway line. Now there's a chance for O'Sullivan to perhaps set up another counter-attack for Brackley. Out to this right-hand side to the Brackley man, Tyler Little. Little does really well under pressure from Law and Scales to get the ball back to Cosmos Matwassa. Matwassa finds O'Sullivan, who in turn lays the ball out to the left-hand side to Goodger, who pumps the ball upfield towards striker Danny Newton. And all Will Evans can do is knock the ball out of play for a Brackley Town throw as we head into the final 90 seconds of this first half at a pretty packed St James Park on a glorious afternoon. Can Brackley make their possession count in these last few seconds? Because it's been a decent first half of football. Danny Elliott having that shot from 30 yards rattle off the bar for Scunthorpe, and then Ross Fitzsimons producing a brilliant save to deny Morgan Roberts, and then Connor Hall failing to get his touch on the rebound. But it's been an end-to-end first half. But Ricardo Calder trying to shepherd himself into a position to get the ball into the penalty area. Murren Bedsy back out to the left side to Calder again. The Brackley man has got a little bit of work to do to get past Reagan Ogle, and he's done well there to win another corner for Brackley. I think that's their 7th or 8th corner of the first half. That probably shows that they've actually been pretty dominant going forwards of Brackley, and this is probably the last opportunity though of this first half for Brackley to get the ball into the penalty area from this corner to see if they can get themselves their noses in front. Right arm in the air from the Brackley winger O'Sullivan. It's going to be an in-swinging corner. You've got Gazdine and Alex Goodger in the middle. It's towards Goodger. It's going to be hooked clear and picked up though by Tyler Little as we go into these dying seconds. Little has got Jason Law for company. He does really well to get the cross in under pressure, but the goalkeeper Fitzsimons claims the ball and is booted it one end of the field to the other, straight the way through to the Brackley goalkeeper, Danny Lewis. And that is the half-time whistle. An entertaining first half here at St James Park. Danny Elliott going close for the visitors with his 30-yard thunderbolt off the bar, and Morgan Roberts forcing a good save from Ross Fitzsimons. But the half-time score here at St James Park is Brackley Town 0, Scunthorpe United 0. Of Brackley Town's home game with Scunthorpe United. The sun has set now, and it's just starting to get a little bit chillier now that the sun's gone down, and we're hopefully in for an entertaining second half. A goalless first half, but that doesn't really tell the story of the game. It's been a really entertaining top of the table National League North encounter between these two sides. Scunthorpe United, of course, coming into the game 5 points off the top spot with the game in hand. Brackley Town in the playoff positions themselves, and in that first half, well, we saw a real rasping effort from Danny Elliott, which I think left Danny Lewis, the Brackley goalkeeper, unsighted in the sunshine, and it rattled off the bar. And then at the other end, Ross Fitzsimons was forced into a really good save when Morgan Roberts went through one-on-one, and he saved Roberts' effort with his legs, and then Connor Hall failed to find the target from one of the many rebounds. Brackley, 7 corners in the first half, maybe belying, showing their dominance when they do move forward in this game. We're waiting for the two sides to emerge at the start of this second half, and Tim, it was as expected really, a pretty entertaining first half football, and it's really anybody's guess how this game is going to finish.
Exactly as you say, level at the break, neither side quite able to make the breakthrough. Feel that Scunthorpe started really well, a little bit concerned for Brackley, seemed to have the control of things, the visitors, and Danny Elliott hit that shot that came back off the crossbar, caught Danny Lewis in the Brackley goal a little bit unawares, I think, and that low sun perhaps didn't help him. And then Brackley responded really, really well, and certainly enjoyed the better of things in the second part of that first half. Perhaps if the delivery from one or two set pieces had been a little bit more accurate, they might have found that goal, but certainly had 4 or 5 decent chances. The best one that we've referred to several times was when Morgan Roberts was put through, advanced on the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper made himself big and with his legs managed to save Morgan Roberts' shot. But really excellent half of football. Scunthorpe United, they're a big club, got a big squad, full time, and Brackley, I think, should be more than satisfied for having more than matched them in that first half.
Yep, we're just still waiting for these two sides to emerge for the second half. At the moment, the crowd are being entertained by some Brackley Town minis, little juniors over on the far side. Some good skills and some good touches going on there, I have to say, Tim. And who knows, there's maybe 1 or 2 players in that little group over there that might be gracing St James Park as a senior player in the years to come.
Well, that's one thing. What I like to see is that they're just enjoying themselves. They're loving it over there, and that's what we want to see. Sport for all, everybody physically active, enjoying playing with each other. Lovely thing to see at half-time. Just having a little look at the National League North table at half-time. Tamworth are winning again away at Darlington, and so if the score was to stay the same here at St James Park, then they would stretch their lead at the top of the table to 7 points. Scarborough in third, they're losing at the moment, and Chorley, who were in third and play Brackley here next Saturday, they're in FA Trophy, 4th round FA Trophy action this afternoon, so they stand to perhaps lose out a little bit in the placings. They've played 3 games fewer than Brackley, and Alfreton, they're right up there as well. They've again got games in hand, and they would move up to 4th if they maintain their half-time 1-0 lead that they have. It's a really intriguing situation with National League North, but all that matters for the moment here at St James Park are the 3 points that are at stake.
Tell you what though, there's one quite extraordinary half-time score from the FA Trophy, and that's Bishop Stortford leading Aldershot at half-time 4-0. Now, I'm assuming that Aldershot probably haven't played their first choice 11 there, but that's an extraordinary half-time scoreline for a Bishop Stortford side that are really struggling to buy a win in National League North, but they're cruising at the moment against National League Premier side Aldershot, 4-0 there.
Yeah, finding goals has been Bishop Stortford's problem. Lost out when they came here to St James Park, and that was clearly going to be their challenge for the season. But they found 4 in that first half. We'll see how that one finishes. But it's league action here, and we are just about to get underway. We've commented on the referee, Jonathan Maskery, did very well in that first half. I think we missed a yellow card on our commentary. Shepmore and Bedsey went in the referee's book. Committed that foul that conceded the free kick on about 20 minutes, and we just missed that one, so we just got ourselves up to date with that over the half-time break to make sure you're fully up to date with everything that's happened here at St James Park. But referee blows his whistle, we're underway. Scunthorpe with the ball, they've taken the kick off and they're kicking from left to right, defending the cricket ground end here at St James Park. The end populated by the Scunthorpe supporters. Really good contingent have come down from the northeast.
I've played cricket on that ground, Tim. So I played cricket on that ground. I haven't scored any runs there though.
So have I, and I haven't either. Conceded a few as a bowler, however, but there we are. So we're underway here. The floodlights are on because that sun has disappeared and the temperature's dropping by the moment. But been an absolutely gorgeous day here. It'll be a lovely early evening. Ball in midfield with Ruan Bedsey for Brackley. And the ball picked up by Calder as Brackley look to break forward. Danny Newton always full of running for Brackley. He's just thwarted, and there'll be an opportunity for Scunthorpe to clear up towards the halfway line. And that will run all the way through to Lewis. I felt that in the first half the referee tried to allow the game to flow and did it pretty well, and I think the players responded well to that. There's some tough challenges going in, as you'd expect, but nothing untoward, and it was good to see. Let's hope that the second half continues in a similar vein. Ball with Brackley now with Matt Wasser midway inside the Scunthorpe half, makes a little bit of progress on that far side. Battling away is Matt Wasser, and in the end the defenders penalised. Didn't seem to be a huge amount in that, but it will give Brackley an opportunity to load this ball into the penalty area.
I've got to be honest, Tim, I do enjoy watching Cosmos Matt Wasser play. He's a little pocket dynamo, isn't he? Full of running, full of skill, and did really well there to win that free kick for Brackley Town.
So I think it will be Tyler Little from that right-hand side, just a few yards outside the penalty area. He's got an opportunity now to cross it in. O'Sullivan is on the edge of the penalty area. Here comes the cross. It's low, and not too much comes from that, but the ball played up towards the halfway line, and that's an opening goal for Brackley. The loose ball came out to Alex Goodger, and he struck his shot magnificently for a centre-back, and he found the top corner. I think he gave Fitzsimons absolutely no chance, and with just 2.5 minutes of the second half played, it's Brackley who've made the breakthrough. Brackley Town 1, Scunthorpe United 0.
What a strike that was from the centre half, Alex Goodger. That was a strike of a seasoned centre forward. That almost on the half volley drove it into the far corner. Fitzsimons had no chance at all, and that's a terrific strike for Brackley Town and for Alex Goodger. He'd be asking to get the striker's boots on after a goal like that.
Well, Goodger's been away at Solihull Moors for a number of seasons and has come back and is a great fan's favourite. But I recall the goal he scored here in the first leg semi-final of the FA Trophy back in 2018 that set Brackley up for that trip to Wembley, and it was a similar strike. Wow, did he strike that beautifully? Top corner, Goodger for a centre-back. And really, you feel that's the goal that Brackley deserved from their first half performance, and to have found it so early in the second half really will give them a lift. And let's see now what sort of response we get from Scunthorpe.
I think it's fair to say that was without a doubt the sweet spot of his right boot there, wasn't it, Tim? Because he caught that as sweetly as you could possibly expect. But I'm sure if we asked him afterwards, he would agree that he couldn't have caught that any better. Terrific goal.
Absolutely. So we'll see what sort of response now comes from the visitors as one of their centre-backs, Boyce, just nods it out of play for a throw-in directly in front of our commentary position. The ball in the hands of Ricardo Calder for Brackley, just inside now as he steals a few yards, takes the throw and then launches it high up towards the penalty area now with Danny Newton for Brackley, not able to go past his man, and Regan Ogle, the right back, puts the ball out of play, and Tommy O'Sullivan will slowly make his way over. Brackley just understand that you're most vulnerable in those minutes after scoring. You see it so often. And Roberts back to O'Sullivan, who now lays it back towards the halfway line to Calder, and Calder is just caught by Cian Scales, and it'll be a free kick to Brackley, and Calder just taking his time to get back to his feet. So Murrumbidgee, O'Sullivan over the ball. Murrumbidgee sporting a pair of black gloves. I hadn't noticed that in the first half, but over on this side of the pitch, that's very obvious. The only player I think to be wearing gloves. Here comes the free kick from O'Sullivan. And it's a second goal for Brackley. The free kick came in deep. A red-shirted player got their head to it, and I think it was Connor Hall who got the final touch. And Fitzsimons wasn't able to get anywhere near that, and the ball just bobbled over the line to give Brackley a 2-0 lead with 5.5 minutes of the second half played here. What a wonderful start for the home supporters to this second half. Brackley Town 2, Scunthorpe United 0.
Well, that strike there was not a patch on the first goal, but they all count him, don't they? And Connor Hall getting the touch to the ball there from the free kick, and it's trickled over the line agonisingly for Scunthorpe. But all of a sudden, within 5 minutes of the start of the second half, Brackley Town leading 2-0.
So, Scunthorpe United, until very recently, top of the table, everybody's favourites to take the title this season. Currently second behind Tamworth, but what sort of response can they conjure now, finding themselves 2 goals behind early in this second half? And they're in on the attack now, on the edge of the Brackley penalty area, but Brackley able to half clear away to that far side. And Brackley really with their tails up now. You see that spring in the step. What a goal, let alone 2 goals, can do for a side. And you have to say, I think Brackley were fully deserving of that lead given their performance in the first half. But to come out and find 2 goals as they have really gives them a magnificent platform here. Now Morgan Roberts on the left for Brackley, dribbled past 2 defenders already, lays it into Connor Hall. And Morgan Roberts went down and thought the referee was going to bring the play back and award a free kick, but he says no, and it allows Scunthorpe to come away with it now with Captain Clunan in midfield. He lays it out to the left. Didn't perhaps see as much of Clunan in the first half as we'd expected in the absence of Butterfield. He's the man who you'd expect to be pulling the strings for the Iron. And now Ogle, as he looks to play in a Scunthorpe striker, and they were on different wavelength there, and the ball just rolls through to Danny Lewis in the Brackley goal.
And Tim, I was talking about the difference between those 2 goals, the wonder strike from Goodger, the goal from Connor Hall. They all count, don't they? But I would suggest that Connor Hall's probably scored some better goals than that in his time, but they all count, and 2-0 up. Well, it's a long way back for the visitors now.
Well, when he was signed, Gavin Cowan said, we've signed him to score some scruffy goals, because those are the goals that we're not picking up. We're creating the chances. We need somebody in that 6-yard box to pick up some scruffy goals for us. And, well, he's got one of those this afternoon. And it's given his side a 2-goal lead as floodlights burn brightly here at St James Park, and certainly shining brightly for Brackley this afternoon. This could be a 4th successive win for Gavin Cowan's side, and it's a real sign of intent. Sends out that message to other sides. Brackley, after an indifferent start to the season, are on their way perhaps. Now Danny Newton picks the ball up in midfield and lays it out to Ricardo Calder, who's looking to get to the edge of the penalty area, crosses it in. Defender gets a header to it, comes out to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan spreads it to the right to Matt Wasser on the right wing, crosses it in, and a little bit too close to the keeper, and Fitzsimons takes comfortably.
In League One, Oxford United have doubled their lead at Carlisle. Mark Harris with his second of the game. Carlisle 0, Oxford United 2. and you can listen to that on 95.2 Freeview channel 722, or if you're in Oxfordshire you can listen on digital radio.
Now Tommy O'Sullivan finds Matt Wasser again up the right, and he wins a corner, the first corner kick of the second half. It's an 8-0 corner score between the two sides. We've yet to see a corner in this game from Scunthorpe, and I think that alone tells the story of the game, really. Apart from Danny Elliott rattling the bar early in the game, there's been very little offensively from Scunthorpe. It's been all Brackley, and that attacking intent has paid off with this 2-goal lead. And now it's a corner kick, 10 minutes on the clock here. Corner kick from the right hand side. O'Sullivan for Brackley, and Goodger gets up, and his header again crashes on the bar and comes out and allows Scunthorpe to clear. He rose, Goodger, got his head to it, clean header, and came back off the bar. And now is a chance for Elliott on the edge of the Brackley penalty area. Just one defender in front of him. His shot is blocked. Ball still now with Ogle, and now Clunan, and he fires it in, and good defensive work by Murrumbedzi, and one or two other teammates get in the way, and the ball will come out onto this far side for a throw-in.
Well, that header from Goodger, that's the sort of thing we would expect to see from Goodger, a header from a corner as opposed to the shot on the half volley, but it rattled the bar, and so nearly 3-0.
So really explosive start to the second half here. Brackley could so easily be 3 goals ahead already. As it is, they have a 2-goal advantage, and there's real work for Scunthorpe to do here as Gazdeen is down, taking a little bit of a knock. It will take something for the Brackley captain to say, I need the physio. So I don't think there's too much of concern there for Dean.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was just sort of slightly winded or got a bit of a blow in the midriff, but as you say, Tim, Gazdeen doesn't go down too easily. He was on his haunches briefly, but he's up on his feet, doesn't require treatment, and we're about to get back underway again.
So Danny Lewis launches the free kick long up towards Connor Hall. 4 goals now for Brackley in his 3 appearances. And now Morgan Roberts, who I think's had a fine game for Brackley. Took a little while to find his feet here at St James Park. He was sent off, of course, in the very first game of the season. Came on as a substitute at Chorley. Got a really harsh red card. The referee said he was leading with his elbow. It's hard to say that was the case, and just struggled to get back into the team. But since he has, I think he's just got stronger and stronger. It's been excellent for Gavin Cowan again this afternoon. And there's Roberts again, gets his head to that one. And now Danny Newton does, as a little bit of head tennis. Roberts now on the edge of the penalty area, and he's just been caught, and he's down in some discomfort, but referee says play on, and that allows Scunthorpe to break. So Ogle for Scunthorpe, and he feeds Callum Roberts down the right. Roberts into the penalty area, crosses it in, and Scunthorpe player tried to get on the end of that as that cross flashed in at just about head height.
Yeah, that was a fizzing cross, and all it needed there was a touch really from Alfie Beeston, but it was almost hit too powerfully, wasn't it? It whizzed past Beeston's head before he managed to get his head to the ball, and that has gone out of play for a throw-in, and that does allow Morgan Roberts perhaps to get some treatment, perhaps, although he's back on his feet and he's talking to the referee, and maybe he won't require treatment, and we're going to see the first substitution of the game, and it's going to be a Scunthorpe substitution, and I think it's going to be an attacking-minded substitution. Let's have a quick look at the number.
Well, I don't think there are any strikers on the bench for Scunthorpe. That is one of the difficulties they have with Danny Whitehall suspended. And I think you're right. We're going to see the first change, and it's for the visitors. Interesting to see what they're going to do. They have midfielders and defenders on the bench, but the game's underway again and allows Brackley to clear upfield.
I think it's going to be Michael Kelly potentially coming on.
So the ball's with Ogle, he crosses it in. Gazdeen a little tentative there in going up, but perhaps he has carrying a little bit of a knock. But I think when we get a pause, we'll have the first substitution. but the ball's still with Scunthorpe, playing it forward, retaining possession here, but careless forward pass cut out by Murrumbedzi allows Danny Newton to feed Calder here on the right, and Brackley tidy up at the back, playing with a lot of confidence at this point, as a side would. 2 goals to the good. Good play on that far side by Pat Wasser, who again wriggles free from 2 challenges, and referee says that's a free kick, I think, to Brackley on the far side, and this will be an opportunity for the substitute, and I think it's Cameron Wilson.
Yeah, it is Cameron Wilson
coming on for Jason Law.
I think that's pretty much like for like, actually. Wilson, an attacking midfielder, winger, and Law likewise. So as you say, Tim, they haven't actually got attacking numbers on the bench, so it's almost like for like. So perhaps that's a tactical change, but yeah, Cameron Wilson coming on for Scunthorpe, 21 years old.
Yeah, not too many options on the bench for Scunthorpe in attacking mode. So as you say, I think that's like for like, a wide man up front for another wide man up front, and Brackley win a throw-in. Danny Newton does his work and makes his way into the penalty area. This will be an opportunity for Tyler Little. Indeed, no, it'll be Tommy O'Sullivan who has a sort of semi-long throw, and he will try to get that ball into the penalty area. See if a Brackley head can get to it. Goodyear, of course, is there. We've mentioned already there's not a lot of height in this Scunthorpe defence, and it's benefited Brackley to this point. So Roberts on the ball and lays it back to Murrumbedzi, and Murrumbedzi looks up and unable to find a Brackley man, but Connor Hall, just the sort of thing that supporters love to see, a player running 20 yards to make a sliding tackle and puts the ball out for a throw-in on the corner flag.
I think he's already a fan's favourite here, isn't he, Tim? A hat-trick on his debut against the old rivals, and then a scruffy goal, as you say, but 4 goals in 3 games, and that sort of work, any supporter loves to see that real battling back and sliding tackle.
So ball with Calder, crosses it in, lovely cross, but nobody up with play for Brackley. Danny Newton was desperately trying to get into the penalty area, into the 6-yard box, and it was an excellent early cross from Calder, but evaded Danny Newton, who was a few yards behind that, and it's gone out of play on the far side for a throw-in to Scunthorpe. 17 minutes on the clock here in the second half, 62 minutes played in this game. It's Brackley Town 2, Scunthorpe United 0. Goodyear steps in, slightly mistimes that one. The ball goes up in the air, but did his job, did the defender. And Tyler Little in a foot chase on that far side does well. Does very well, does Little. And lays it back to Danny Lewis, who skies it, and that goes out of play on the far side.
Yeah, he did really well there, Little, but then he sold his keeper a little bit down the river there. But Little Lewis just clearing out of play for a throw to Scunthorpe.
But it's 8 minutes since Brackley scored that second goal, and Scunthorpe clearly got to do everything now to try and get back in the game. And I think Brackley have weathered what Scunthorpe have thrown at them so far. But Scunthorpe got to be a little bit more adventurous here, a little bit more attacking if they're going to get back in this game. And the ball now on the right hand side with Callum Roberts. Roberts on the edge of the penalty area, and now Ogle with a chance to cross it in. It's a good cross, and a header comes in, and good work by Dean, clears the lines for Brackley. Danny Lewis out and gathers and hugs that white ball to his green jersey and looks around for the best option to get Brackley underway again. The cross came in, it was a good cross from the full-back Ogle, and the white-shirted attacker got his head to it, but Dean was there, as he so often is for his side. And now Roberts, lovely play from Roberts, and he's going to shoot from there, and it hits a defender. and Calder will pick up the rebound. And that's Connor Hall, who goes down under a challenge from Ogle. I think Ogle feels wasn't a lot in that, but Hall felt it, decided to go down, and I think the smile on his face tells you everything.
That was a brilliant reaction, wasn't it? Connor Hall on the deck there with a big beaming smile. He's won one for his team there. I really like what Connor Hall is for this club so far. 3 games in, he's made an immediate impact. He's a real character as well. I spoke to him after the Banbury game. He's a very likeable lad, and yeah, the smile on his face there spoke 1,000 words to him.
Well, it results in a Brackley free kick. Tommy O'Sullivan, right-footed, White 18 on his back, and he will take the free kick into the Scunthorpe penalty area. Defender gets up well and nods it out to the far side and will allow Scunthorpe to come away with it. Game very open, you'd say, at this stage. Brackley certainly not sitting back. Brackley pushing for a third goal, and Scunthorpe will need to push forward to get a goal to get back into this. So could well be further goals in this game.
In League One, Oxford United now 3-0 up at Carlisle. Tyler Goodrum with Oxford United's third goal there. That's on 95.2 FM, Preview, Channel 72, and on digital. 3-0 to Oxford United.
And with Banbury picking up a point at Blythe Spartans at the moment, it's a good afternoon for local teams to this point. But still plenty of football to play here as Ogle goes forward, seeing much more of the right back for Scunthorpe in an offensive mode since going behind. Didn't see too much of Ogle in the first half, but and that forward pass for a couple of Danny Elliott certainly, and Roberts looking to get on the end of that through ball, but Lewis was alert to it in the Brackley goal. And the 41-year-old Lewis came out and gathered safely, and he now kicks high into what looks like the night sky. It's deep blue, floodlights burning brightly. It's a good scene, this Brackley St James Park pitch, particularly for Brackley Town supporters. That scoreline of Brackley 2, Scunthorpe 0, and Calder picks up that loose forward pass, and he's bundled over by Roberts, and he's going to receive a yellow card, and I'm not sure it's for the foul or perhaps for what he said. It's the first yellow card for a Scunthorpe player.
Yeah, I think that was frustration boiling over a bit. He's conceded the foul, then obviously has said something as soon as the referee's given it, and I think you're right. I think that wasn't for the foul, it was for whatever he spoke about to the referee, Jonathan Maskery, who's had a really good game this afternoon.
Indeed, and be another free kick for Brackley to take, and be that man, Tommy O'Sullivan. We're at the almost at the midpoint of this second half. We'll just see this free kick. It's a right-footed O'Sullivan. It's 25 yards from goal. And this will be a straightforward punt up the field that Brackley will need to deal with, which they do. 2 defenders shepherd the ball through to Danny Lewis, and at this point, midway point of the second half, we got the official attendance this afternoon. It's 1,008. It's a good turnout for this game. Really good contingent come down from Lincolnshire. It's a good atmosphere in the ground, and certainly the home supporters, all 700 of them, enjoying 2-0 lead for Brackley as Danny Newton feeds Ricardo Calder, looking to get a cross in, forced to the byline, and he wins it. Another corner for Brackley, does Calder, and at this point I'll hand over to the commentary to Kieran Bushnell.
I'll see if I can bring a few more goals, Tim, because you brought 2 for the home side in that opening 22 minutes or so. Brackley 2, Scunthorpe United 0, and it's another corner for the home side, their 9th corner of the afternoon, and Tommy O'Sullivan's going to take this corner again on this grandstand side. It's going to be an in-swinger this time, I think. Right arm raised in the air by O'Sullivan. Goodger and Newton and Gazdeen are up there, and Cosmos Matwasser just lurking on the edge of the penalty area as well, along with Tyler Little. Referee's just trying to cut out a bit of shenanigans in the crowded 6-yard box there, and it really is crowded in there, to be honest, and Goodger and Gazdeen will no doubt be the target for this corner from the right-hand side. Not a great corner that time, though, and over the bar, but actually off the Scunthorpe player. He's forced the goalkeeper to punch it clear, because it wasn't a great corner, but a Scunthorpe defender got his foot to it, and it sort of arced up into the air and looked like it was dropping in underneath the bar. So it meant that Ross Fitzsimons had to take some action there, and he punched it clear, and it's now a throw-in on the far side for the visitors, who trail this game by 2-0. They've got a long way back in this game, but there's still plenty of time. 20 minutes to go plus stoppages. Danny Lewis clears the ball right-footed up over the halfway line, and I keep forgetting Danny Lewis is 41 years old, because he's a fantastic goalkeeper, great servant for the club, and 41 years young, we'll say.
Well, absolutely, and we mentioned already over 500 senior appearances at a good level, played in the Football League, a couple of seasons with Kidderminster Harriers and National League level, and now 7 seasons with Brackley and National League North, and never let anybody down here as Danny Lewis, and hasn't had too much to do this afternoon, but it's been rock solid to this point for Brackley at the back.
In League One came Carlisle pulled one back against Oxford. It's now Oxford United leading 3-1. In the National League North, Blythe Spartans have come from behind. They now lead 2-1. A goal from Evans with about 18 minutes to go there up in the northeast. So as it stands, if you're looking to listen to the closing stages of the Oxford United game, you can switch to 95.2 Freeview channel 722, and on digital if you're in Oxfordshire. Here at St James Park, it's still Brackley Town 2, Scunthorpe United 0, and with Tamworth looking to pull away a bit further, that game next week between the top 2 sides takes on added significance, really. Free kick given away to Scunthorpe just inside the Brackley half of the field, and Michael Cloonan's going to place this ball, and he'll look to drive this into the penalty area. And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 Scunthorpe players on the edge of the box as Cloonan drives it right-footed into the area, headed towards danger, but nodded clear by Gazdeen, and then hooked over the halfway line, and it's picked up by Tyler Denton, who goes back to his goalkeeper Ross Fitzsimons. And Scunthorpe will need to build again from the back with Denton. Ogle on this right side. Denton finds Ogle on this touchline right in front of us. Danny Newton looking to close Ogle down, so Ogle needs to go back to Denton again. Denton looking for an option. He hasn't got one in front of him, so he goes right to Andrew Boyce. Boyce chips the ball forward, looking for a man in the penalty area, but again good defending by Gazdeen, who heads it clear, picked up in the centre circle by the Scunthorpe captain Cloonan. Cloonan, a little neat pass there, and now it's out to the far side, but that's going to be cleared up by Tyler Little. Brackley now back in possession, and good chance here maybe for them to launch a counter-attack down the right-hand side. Newton's in the penalty area, not many other reinforcements in there at the moment, so the pass was delayed a little bit there by Little, and then it's going to be a free kick given away. A bit of a clumsy challenge there, and it's going to be a yellow card I rather fancy for the Brackley man who has committed that foul. Referee's going to call Ricardo Calder over. Calder, as is his wont when he's in trouble with the referee, you always see the player going as far away from the referee as they can, but the referee is not going to buy that, and Calder's going to get himself a yellow card for that challenge. A bit of a clumsy one there, really, on the sort of just outside the penalty area, and I don't think Calder can have any complaints. Still Brackley 2, Scunthorpe 0 then, as we head into the last 16 minutes or so here at St James Park. It's been a really entertaining game of football. Ogle now looking to advance down the right side. Newton closes him down into Callum Roberts. Roberts tries to get onto the left foot and tries to chip a ball through to Kean Scales, but all he's succeeded in doing is chip it over Scales' head, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick harmlessly, and Danny Lewis will take his time to pick this ball up and set it for a goal kick.
You certainly wouldn't want to speak too soon from a Brackley Town point of view, but He suggests that Scunthorpe are really rather running out of ideas here. Got very little to offer going forward. Brackley really superbly organised by Dean and Goodyear at the back, with Danny Lewis behind them. And really it's Brackley who look more likely to score the next goal here.
National League North, Banbury United are level. Ken Charles has equalised for Banbury against Blythe Spartans. So bit of a cracking game going on up there in the northeast. Can Brackley hold on to this lead? Really good challenge there by Goodyear. Fantastic challenge to deny Danny Elliott, and then Danny Lewis clears the ball, and it's just gone out of play. Calder strained every neck muscle in his body there to try and keep the ball in play from Danny Lewis's clearance, but it's just crept over the line for a throw in right in front of us, and it's taken by Ogle. Ogle throws the ball back to Andrew Boyce. Boyce plays across to his left-sided centre-half teammate Will Evans, and Evans out to the far side, and a really good bit of defending there by Tyler Little, and just nods it back to his goalkeeper. And Brackley Town are defending stoutly. They're really limiting Scunthorpe to very little at the moment. I don't want to sort of speak too soon because there is still 15 minutes to go, but really in this second half Danny Lewis hasn't actually had a save to make so far. It's been predominantly Brackley on the attack, and they've got some defending to do potentially here though, because Reagan Ogle's bringing the ball over the halfway line. Morgan Roberts closes him down well, and Ogle actually does pretty well to hold off Morgan Roberts' challenge, and then it's played infield to Clunan. Clunan out to the left-hand side to Kean Scales. Scales finds Wilson, the substitute, who came on for Elliott, and it's going to be another chance for Scunthorpe to recycle this ball into the Brackley half of the field, but Brackley are holding firm. Andrew Boyce in the centre of the park. Little 1-2 played there with Callum Roberts. Boyce then lets the ball into Danny Elliott, and a good bit of defending again there by Brackley, by hook or by crook, just bouting it up the field and all the way through to the visiting keeper Ross Fitzsimons. And Scunthorpe are up in the top two because they're a very, very good side, of course, and because of that, even though it's a 2-0 lead, the next goal could be pretty crucial. But let's see how Brackley can defend this. It's a corner to Scunthorpe. I think that's possibly Scunthorpe's first corner of the game, which is a testament to how well Brackley have played in this game. First corner then for Scunthorpe. It's going to be an outswinger towards the back of the penalty area, headed up into the air by Will Evans. Brackley still haven't cleared it. It's back in Scunthorpe possession outside the penalty area with Scales, and another good challenge there, and it's right in the corner flag, and I think the referee in fact has given a corner. Or is it a throw? It's a throw in. No, it is a corner, so the second corner in succession, like London Bus is waiting to come there. Good bit of defending again, so another outswinger towards the back post this time, and there's a chance here, but scrambled clear by Brackley, and as Andrew Boyce tried to get his foot to the ball, and it's been recycled to Tyler Denton, back out to the left hand side to Roberts on the left, and that's over the bar. The ball coming in from the left hand side and headed over the bar, and harmlessly out of play, to the grateful sighs of relief from the Brackley fans amassed behind that goal away to our right. And Brackley still lead this game by 2-0, and we're heading into the last 12 minutes or so of this National League North encounter, which has been a really entertaining game. And if Brackley can hold on to this, it'll be a notable scalp, and as Tim alluded to earlier, their fourth successive victory if they can hold on.
A notable scalp indeed, and helps build confidence with this winning run. If they can hold on here, would also take them up as things stand to third place in the table. Quite a turnaround from where they were down in 9th and 10th just a few weeks ago.
I think I'll be welcome back here again, Tim, if that happens. I've never seen Brackley lose, so famous last words. I shouldn't say that when there's still 10 minutes to go, but now there's a chance for Brackley to counter again. Ricardo Calder on the left hand side, really good neat passing. Oh, unfortunately there from Calder, he just let it run out of play there, and then he quite cheekily just rolls the ball away. He needs to be a bit careful, Calder, because the ball went out of play and a little bit of frustration crept in, and he just kicked it a little bit further up, and the referee could have potentially taken some action there, and thankfully he didn't. It was a shame that, because Calder burst clear but just miscontrolled it at the crucial moment. It looks like we're going to see a substitution again. I think it may be a Brackley substitution this time. We'll keep a close eye on the far side. Brackley defending stoutly when they need to. Tyler Little back to his goalkeeper, Lewis, who in turn just fires it up the field first time and over the halfway line, and it's going to be a throw in to Brackley just inside the Scunthorpe half of the field. Is this a time for the substitution? Not yet, I don't believe. But
will certainly be interesting to see who Gavin Cowan wants to switch off for Brackley. I wonder whether it's Connor Hall again. He puts in so much running. That's what's happened in the last couple of games. Played 75-80 minutes as Hall. Well, we will see shortly, because that board will go up in a moment, I'm sure, and we'll have the first change for Gavin Cowan's side this afternoon.
Yep, not sure, because my eyesight's not great, Tim. It's even harder when the board is on its side, but we'll see who the substitution will be very shortly. Throw into Brackley Town, right in the corner, just about sort of probably 5 or 6 yards in from the byline, and an opportunity perhaps for Brackley to get another attack in themselves. Taken short over on the far side, and it's going to be into the penalty area, but it's going to be cleared away by Andrew Boyce up over the halfway line. Gazdeen loses out in the air there to Elliott, and now there's a chance for Scunthorpe to break, but a really aimless ball forward, almost a hit and hope pass there from the Scunthorpe man, and allows Danny Lewis to tidy up quite comfortably. And now Calder is doing battle with Roberts. Roberts comes away with the ball. That's a poor challenge, I think, there from Newton. Newton dived in. You can't believe it, but I'm afraid, although he probably got a little of the ball there, he dived in, and you really can't do that at any level. And yes, he might have won the ball, but I think the referee there has deemed that to be a challenge that's a little bit over the top, and it's a free kick and a yellow card to Danny Newton. If I'm being really objective there, Roberts possibly made a bit more of it than he might have done, but I do think that was a foul, and it's going to be a free kick to Scunthorpe United. And Roberts is over this free kick, and he's got a good left foot on him, and he curls it in towards the D, headed clear. Cameron Wilson is going to let it run out of play for a throw in. Now we're going to see this substitution, and I will bow down to your better eyesight and your better knowledge to let me know. I think it's
Dan Turner's coming on up front, replacing Connor Hall. It's kind of what we suggested, really.
Yep. Yeah, another good performance for Connor Hall, and he's going to get not so much the standing ovation this time, but he has scored another goal, and Dan Turner coming on for these last 8 minutes or so plus stoppage time. It looks as though we're going to see a Scunthorpe substitution as well being readied before the throw-in can take place, and that looks to me as though it's going to be Finn Shrimpton coming on and making way. Possibly, is that Alfie Beeston going off? Possibly. Yeah. So 2 substitutions, Shrimpton on for Scunthorpe and Dan Turner on for the home side. Long throw into the penalty area, headed clear by Cosmos Mcwassa. And Dan Turner confirmed as the substitution for Scunthorpe. Alfie Beeston, correct. So my eyesight didn't play me up there, Tim. I'm quite pleased with that, I must admit, because I didn't really see the number on the board. I just saw a player going off, and I thought it was Dan Beeston. Indeed it is. So we've got about 7 minutes to go here plus stoppage time. It's still Brackley 2, Scunthorpe United 0. Bit of an aimless one there, really, from Tyler Little. It's gone through to the goalkeeper Fitzsimons, but time running out for the visitors, and in situations like this, of course, the clock will run down really quickly for Scunthorpe, and for Brackley it will feel like an absolute age, because we've got 6 minutes to go, and I don't think there's been quite as many stoppages in the second half, but obviously we'll see probably 3 or 4, which seems to be pretty customary. Now is a chance here for Brackley. Oh, a bit of a short pass there. Now this is an opportunity perhaps. Dan Newton, though, was in an offside position when he was coming back, but a little bit of nervousness there from Scunthorpe, and I'm not surprised that Danny Newton tried his luck there, but the referee's assistant on the far side rose his flag, and it's a free kick to Scunthorpe, taken quickly. Gazdeen heads it forward, but back into Brackley territory again, and hooks over the halfway line, and it's going to have to go all the way back again to the goalkeeper Fitzsimons. It's in the wrong end of the park as far as Scunthorpe are concerned. Gazdeen again wins an aerial battle, and then it's back with Clunan in the centre circle, and Clunan's pass overhit, and it's gone out of play for a throw-in on the far side, right in front of the Scunthorpe technical area. And we're going to see, are we another substitution? I thought perhaps, maybe not yet. 5 minutes to go in this one, plus stoppages. Still Brackley Town 2, Scunthorpe United 0. And if Brackley can hold on for this one, what a result that will be. Having lost to Scunthorpe, of course, at Glanford Park in the league, and then lost the FA Cup replay here. A little bit of revenge as well.
Well, Brackley won the FA Cup replay here, so it's been a draw and a win each. So this would put Brackley ahead 2-1 in wins in their four contests against Scunthorpe United. But yeah, it's just been a really impressive performance from Brackley, I have to say. Not just offensively creating those chances and scoring the 2 goals, but defensively looks so solid. 4.5 minutes plus added time to go here, but another opportunity for Brackley to get the ball into the danger zone with this free kick.
And it's a shot from the right edge of the penalty area straight into the midriff of the goalkeeper Ross Fitzsimons, who clutches it gratefully into his chest and clears the ball quickly. But Brackley back in possession again with Morgan Roberts. Morgan Roberts showing a little bit of skill there, still with Roberts. Roberts has been forced very wide, does a bit of a tussle with Ogle, and then Roberts goes down in the penalty area, and the referee tells Roberts in no uncertain terms to get up. He does, slowly, but Brackley still in possession with the substitute Turner on that far side. Ball played forward, but it's going to be cleared up and by Tyler Denton back to his goalkeeper. But with only 4 minutes to go, the ball is, from a Scunthorpe perspective, in the wrong half of the field, and Brackley have really held firm this afternoon. And as the night draws on, Tyler Little is going to go back to his goalkeepers. You know, he's going to go forwards, in fact. Picked up in the middle of the park by Michael Clunan, the Scunthorpe captain, out to this right-hand side to Ogle. Ogle looking to get the ball into the penalty area, but he hasn't got an option to do so, so he opts to go to Callum Roberts instead. Roberts on the edge of the area finds Wilson on that left side of the penalty area, and Brackley Town just closing down all the time, just hassling and hurrying Scunthorpe and forcing mistakes from Scunthorpe, who are running out of time. They're 2-0 down. Scales out to the right hand side again to Ogle. Ogle's got a bit of space to get across in this time, and a really good sliding block there from Ricardo Calder, and it's out of play for a corner to Scunthorpe with 2.5 minutes to go here at St James Park.
Better passage of play from Scunthorpe there. It's earned them another corner. Felt they've been really rather running out of ideas, but that was good play and sets up this corner. And what can they do from this?
In comes the corner, headed up into the air, I think, by Danny Newton back there, and Scunthorpe back in possession again into the area. Hook clear again by Danny Newton doing defending back there, but Brackley still haven't cleared it. Now they've got a chance perhaps to get it away, but in fact Scunthorpe close it down well, and Roberts on this right touchline picks up the loose ball and tries to curl it into the penalty area, and that's headed behind by Goodger for another Scunthorpe corner. They're asking questions, but they're 2-0 down as we head into the last minute and a half of the 90. Still 2-0.
But were Scunthorpe to grab a goal here, we'd have a very interesting final few minutes. As that corner came in,
Brackley got to get the ball away here, and Morgan Roberts just hooks it over his head, and in fact nearly, really very close to sending the substitute Dan Turner away there, but the ball in fact is broken kindly for Scunthorpe, and it's back on the left hand side. In they come again with Wilson on the left hand side. Wilson goes down under a challenge, and it's gone out for another corner for the visitors. 1 minute to go, and then we'll have a quick look and see what the board is going to say. I'd say probably 3 or 4, which is pretty normal, I would suggest. Back out to Wilson again, the substitute for Scunthorpe, and good defending again, and another throw in to the visitors. They cannot get past this Brackley rear guard though. Brackley defending stoutly in these dying moments, and that's going to go out of play for another corner for Scunthorpe. Their 5th corner of the game, and in fact their 5th corner of the second half.
I think Brackley looking to make another substitution here. They're not going to be able to make it before the corner comes in. It's Jimmy Armson and his experience looking to come on.
Well, they've tried, but it hasn't happened, because 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go then at the end of this second half. Still 2-0 to Brackley Town, who are desperate to make this substitution. Now Danny Newton hooks the ball forward to Dan Turner, and he's on the left hand side. He's got an opportunity to get the ball into Calder. Calder gets a shove in the back. Referee says no, play on, and Calder's taken the ball into the corner. Does well to get a cross in, and then appeal for handball, but that's clearly hit the midriff. And then Alex Goodge is going to head the ball back towards Shep Murrumbedzi. Murrumbedzi back to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan into Tyler Little. Good passing move there from Little, finding Danny Newton, who runs towards goal. Newton still on the ball, out to the left-hand side to Calder, just on the edge of the penalty area. Calder into Newton. Newton's first-time effort! That was angling towards the top corner, and the goalkeeper Ross Fitzsimons got his hand to it. It was a fairly routine save, if truth be told, but it was definitely going in towards the top corner, and Fitzsimons had to get his hand to it. We're going to see this final substitution now just to run the clock down. It's Jimmy Armson is coming on for Morgan Roberts for these dying moments, and Brackley have got 3 minutes to survive to record what would be a really notable National League North victory here at St James Park. Dying moments too up at Brunton Park. Oxford United still leading 3-1. If you want to catch the dying seconds there, that's on 95.2 FM, Freeview channel 722, and on digital. And unsurprisingly, Morgan Roberts is taking an age to leave the field. Jimmy Armson, on the other hand, sprints into action. He's very keen to get involved in this last few moments of the game. We're deep into stoppage time. 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. Ricardo Calder has the ball for the throw-in, right in front of us on the stand side, the commentary box side, if you like. Calder with this throw-in, he's going to launch it forwards towards Newton, and Reagan Ogle climbs over the back of Newton, but wins the throw-in, and Calder just takes the ball up the line a bit further, and again looking to find Newton. Good challenge there by the substitute Jimmy Armson, and the ball in the corner, which is where you'd expect it to be as Brackley look to hold on to record a notable 3 points. A big tussle in the corner there, but Scunthorpe coming away with it, with the Roberts finding Will Evans, and out to the far side to Wilson again, but we are just moments away from the final whistle here at St James Park. It's with the substitute Shrimpton out to the right hand side to Ogle. Ogle's got Ricardo Calder in front of him, so Ogle tries to play in Roberts, but Shep Murrumbedzi gets to the ball first. And in fact, I think it's a free kick given there for Brackley Town.
And a third substitution for Brackley's Alfie Bates came on to replace Tommy O'Sullivan. Gavin Cohen's made full use of his 3 substitutions, but I think every man in that Brackley side has really earned, earn their pennies this afternoon, let's say.
Absolutely. I think Gavin Cowan's going to be a very happy man, not just at the result, Tim, but the performance against a really strong side in Scunthorpe, who aren't going to lose many games. They don't lose many games. This is their first defeat in the league since November, and I think I can safely say that now as we're 20 seconds to go with them trailing by 2-0. Free kick taken up towards Newton, who tries to win the flick on, but he goes over his head and it's out of play for a Scunthorpe United throw. We're now into whatever time the referee decides to add on at the end of stoppage time. Brackley 2, Scunthorpe United 0. Calder into Armson. Armson's going to go for the corner, I think, and that's where he's heading. He's going to take the ball into the corner. He's got a couple of Scunthorpe players trying to rob the ball off of him, and in fact he's conceded a free kick because Armson there, but I don't think he's going to be too worried because we're deep into stoppage time now, and Brackley Town are about to record a really notable victory. They're 4th on the trot to move themselves potentially up to 3rd in National League North. Tyler Little drives the ball up over the halfway line towards McWasser on the far side. McWasser just holding the ball up, and there is the final whistle, and that is a terrific result for Brackley Town. They've beaten Scunthorpe United by 2-0 here at St James Park. Scunthorpe's first defeat since November in the league, and Tim, that's been a terrific performance for Gavin Cowan's men.
I think you're absolutely right. From every angle, Gavin Cowan has every right to feel delighted with the performance, the result, moves his side up to 3rd in the table, puts together this 4-game winning streak, a 3rd successive clean sheet. What a lovely afternoon here for Brackley Town supporters. It's been a fine game of football for the neutrals. Scunthorpe supporters are not going to be happy. A long trip back to Lincolnshire, but for Brackley Town supporters making their way home, it's been a wonderful afternoon. Thoroughly deserved victory for Brackley. Vital 3 points.
Thank you, Tim. That's Tim Carroll. Final score here then: Brackley Town 2, Scunthorpe United 0. We've got full time at Brunton Park, so I'll hand you back to Jerome Sale and the team, where Oxford United have run out 3-1 winners at Carlisle United.
Some results in the Championship: Coventry 3, Leicester 1, Birmingham 2, Swansea 2, Cardiff 0, Leeds 3, 1-1 between Huddersfield and Plymouth, 2-0 Preston have beaten Bristol City, 1-0 Stoke have won at Rotherham, Southampton 4, Sheffield Wednesday 0, West Brom 4, Blackburn 1, Middlesbrough leading at Millwall in the delayed kick-off, Ipswich against Sunderland to follow. The other results in League 1: Barnsley 2, Bristol Rovers 1, Blackpool 2, Exeter 0. They abandoned the game at Bolton against Cheltenham because of a medical emergency. They abandoned Reading against Port Vale because of a pitch invasion. Charlton 1, Peterborough 2, Northampton 1, Wigan 1, Pompey beaten 3-0 at home by Orient. Stevenage have won 1-0 at Shrewsbury. Lincoln got a late leveller at Wickham, 1-1 the result there. Still playing Cambridge Fleetwood, 1-1 there. In League 2, Carl Robinson gets his first win as Salford manager. They won 1-0 away from home at Crawley. Forest Green beaten at home by Harrogate 2-0. Alex Gorrin sent off on his debut. Crewe 2, Swindon 1 is the result. Full time at Brackley, National League North, Kieran Bushnell.
Yeah, notable victory for Brackley. It's finished Brackley Town 2, Scunthorpe United 0. Scunthorpe's first defeat since November, and in truth it was a really deserved victory for the home side. They dominated this game, really, apart from an early chance from Danny Elliott. The goalkeeper, Danny Lewis, didn't really have an awful lot to do. Goalless at the break. The opening goal came 2 minutes into the second half, and it was an absolute cracker from the centre half, Alex Goodger, who drilled in a shot on the half volley from just inside the box into the far corner. It gave the goalkeeper, Ross Fitzsimons, no chance at all, and then just 3 minutes later it was 2-0. A slightly more scruffy goal, this one. Connor Hall, who got his hat-trick on debut against Banbury, where he scored again. Free kick into the box. Connor Hall got a touch to it and it trickled over the line, and after that really Brackley just defended well, and it finished Brackley Town 2, Scunthorpe United 0.
Thank you. Let's go to Blythe against Banbury. Mickey Inotta.
Blythe 2, Banbury 2. Excellent game. Ethan Fitzhugh struck after 20 seconds. Harry Gardner equalising late in the first half. Chances came and went, both going for it. Blythe more so in the second half. Banbury's main threat, Craig Hewitt, weaving his magic down the left. Harding superb in goal as well. But Rhys Evans, left unmarked, made it 2-1 from 8 yards on 75. 2 minutes later, Ken Charles levelled, scrambling the ball home. Yusuf's late drive nearly squeezed is through. Blythe 2, Banbury 2.
Thank you, Mickey. Didcot have beaten Bracknell 1-0. Kidlington 1-0 winners at Cirencester. A win for North Lee as well this afternoon on the road. Congratulations to them. You're with BBC Radio Oxford Sport, where you can have your say. 0808 100 9100 is our number. You can text us 81333. Start your message with the word Oxford. Thank you for being with us. This is BBC Radio Oxford Sport. Wasn't It? The Game is next. Wasn't It? The Game from BBC Radio Oxford Sport. Good evening, thank you for being with us. Live from Cumbria, this is Jerome Sale. Carlisle United 1, Oxford United 3. Oxford United make it back-to-back away wins. Brannigan's corner again to the back of the penalty area, headed back by Elliot Moore and turned in. Mark Harris, his goal scoring keeps on coming. He has turned it in from the close range opportunity presented to him. Harris headed it down. I think Rodriguez might have helped it in his direction. And then Harris, with his finger to his lips, I think, in front of the Carlisle fans, celebrates. Carlisle United 0, Oxford United 1.
Harris flag stays down. Harris one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Round the keeper. It breaks. Back to Harris, who hits the post and scores. It's 2-0. Carlisle complain. The assistant near side kept the flag down, but Harris was through onto the through pass. It clipped the post on the way in. He won't care. United won't care. They will be 2 goals to the good here at Brunton Park. Spinning the defence for Goodrum, who shoots across the keeper and scores a beautiful goal. 3-0 to Oxford. Tyler Goodrum celebrates signing a new long-term contract. A precision ball from the skipper Elliot Moore. Couple of touches from Goodrum, who comes across the Oxford fans, clenches his fists. That surely now is game, set, match. 3 goals, 3 points. United.
Carlisle not done yet. Armstrong shoots near post, dealt with just about. But Carlisle do get a goal back here. McCalman, I think, has put that through a forest of legs. Rescues the ball as well. 3-1 now to Oxford United, and the calm, composed afternoon just now has a question mark over it. No harm done. Oxford United win 3-1. 0808 100 9100 is our number to have your say tonight. You can get involved on the text 81333. Start your message with the word Oxford on WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Start your message Oxford. Social media at BBC Oxford Sport. Shout out to Tame United, who won 4-3 at Welling Garden City. Just got full time through on that one.